I'm going to pick up where we left off because now Adam Silver has gotten into the mix. He has come out and said something about all that's going on within the WNBA. And just last night, Nafisa Collier sat down with Kamala Harris, former vice president, to also talk about the things that are going on in the WNBA currently. So the plot continues to thicken.
The WNBA is on fire, shattering records and finally getting the spotlight it deserves. But behind the scenes, a fire of a different kind is raging, threatening to burn the whole league down. The fight got so intense that the big boss of the NBA, Adam Silver, was forced to step in and send an urgent message to stars like Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier, a message designed to pull the league back from the brink of a complete shutdown. This is the story of how the WNBA's golden era is colliding with a civil war over money, respect, and power.
You can see here, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver acknowledged the WNBA is experiencing growing pains amid player dissatisfaction. The WNBA Players Union opted out of current CBA, which now expires on the 25th of October. Players are seeking a larger share of league revenue, especially with the new multi-billion-dollar rights deal, which is all fair.
It all exploded into public view during Nafisa Collier's exit interview. She didn't just express disappointment, she dropped a bomb. Collier, the president of the WNBA Players Association, called the league office tone-deaf, dismissive, and driven by control and power. But the line that hit like a thunderclap was her description of the league's leadership as the worst in the world. That single phrase ignited a firestorm that has been burning ever since. The league's commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, tried to put it out, quickly dismissing the claims. She spoke about a lot of inaccuracy in what was being reported and insisted that she holds the players in high respect. But her words were like throwing water on a grease fire. They failed to douse the flames and only seemed to make things worse. The controversy began to overshadow the WNBA Finals, the league's biggest stage, forcing the spotlight away from the court and onto the ugly off-court turbulence. That's when Adam Silver stepped in. The NBA commissioner, known for his calm and commanding presence, was forced to break his silence.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on Monday added his voice on the decision. In remarks made on October the 6th at NBC Sports headquarters, Adam Silver acknowledged the WNBA is experiencing growing pains. Whoa, he's saying growing pains, with this unprecedented popularity colliding with rampant player dissatisfaction just ahead of the expiration of its collective bargaining agreement at the end of the month.
He saw the mess unfolding and knew he had to say something. Speaking from NBC Sports headquarters, Silver acknowledged what everyone was seeing. The WNBA wasn't just dealing with a simple business negotiation. He admitted the league was facing deep-rooted relationship issues. In his own words, Silver said, "There are issues that we need to address with our players, not just economic. There are relationship issues as well. I'm confident we can fix those over time, and this league can continue to be on the rocket trajectory that it's on right now." His statement was a subtle confirmation of the core problem. The trust between the players and the commissioner was completely broken. The root of this broken trust stems from a private conversation that Collier made public. She revealed that during a discussion about player pay, Engelbert allegedly dismissed the idea of raises for rising stars. According to Collier, Engelbert said that Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. That alleged comment unleashed a full-blown storm. It wasn't just a business disagreement anymore. It was personal. Suddenly, it was the commissioner versus the players. Even Io Wilson, the four-time MVP, didn't hold back, admitting she was disgusted by the alleged statement. This is what makes Silver's intervention so critical. He stepped in at a moment when the relationship between the two sides was hanging by a thread. And importantly, the players seemed to trust him. One player was quoted earlier this year saying they feel comfortable and confident going up to him, even preferring him to Engelbert.
Now, something else that has to be talked about is the WNBA collective bargaining situation. Now, that is currently dealing with the CBA. Now, the way it's looking might not be no 2026 season. And just like I stated, Kathy whole relationship situation is not good at all. They could put in there that Kathy got to step down before they sign anything.
This personal feud is the backdrop for a massive financial battle centered on the collective bargaining agreement, otherwise known as the CBA. The players have signaled their intent to opt out of the current deal, setting up a high-stakes negotiation. Adam Silver, trying to calm the waters, spoke on this directly, stating with confidence, "We will get a deal done with the players. We'll, of course, get a new collective bargaining deal done." But the phrase, "a lot of work left to be done," is a massive understatement. The financial gap between what the players get and what the league is making is staggering. Right now, WNBA players receive just 9.3% of the league's revenue. To put that in perspective, NBA players get a nearly 50% split of all basketball-related income. With a new $2.2 billion media rights deal on the horizon and team expansions underway, the league is growing at an incredible rate, but the salaries have remained almost the same. As former WNBPA President Nneka Agwamike said, the league is in a defining moment, and the players cannot afford to stand still. This fight for a fair share is complicated by a deep lack of trust. The current CBA states that players don't get additional revenue sharing until the league hits certain financial benchmarks. The league claims it hasn't met them, but the players are demanding proof. They want to see the data, the detailed breakdowns of where the money is coming from and where it's going. The league's refusal to provide this information has led to widespread suspicion, even fueling conspiracy theories that the NBA might be dumping its own bad financial decisions onto the WNBA's books to make the women's league appear unprofitable.
And so these players are not trusting the league because they feel like they're withholding information, and they're saying, like, you're saying that we haven't met this revenue, but you're not giving us the data. Now, what's different about the WNBA compared to the NBA is that the WNBA doesn't even own their entire league like the NBA does. So it's very hard to give them more revenue when this is the split. 42% of the W is owned by the NBA, and then 42% of the WNBA is owned by WNBA owners, and then 16% is owned by private investors. And this investment group came in 2022. So only 3 years ago, this investment group came in, and it was estimated that they raised $75 million that went to the WNBA. Now, it also is not clear where that $75 million went, but that's the breakdown. So there's not as much of the pie that the players can get because the W still doesn't own their entire league. And as it's being reported, they still don't have the revenue coming in. It is very murky trying to find the exact numbers.
This information gap is the players' biggest hurdle. They can't negotiate properly because they don't even know how much money they're fighting over. Their biggest bargaining chip is simply pointing out that they can't bargain in the dark. To understand the disconnect, you have to look at the commissioner herself. Kathy Engelbert was hired by Adam Silver in 2019 as the WNBA's first ever commissioner. She didn't come from the basketball world. She was the former CEO of the massive accounting firm Deloitte. She was hired for her business expertise with one primary goal: make the league profitable. This has created a fundamental clash in philosophy. Engelbert is seen as a business-first commissioner focused on the bottom line. This contrasts sharply with Adam Silver, who has a reputation as a players-first commissioner who stepped into an already wildly successful NBA. This difference is at the heart of the relationship issues Silver mentioned. It's made worse by reports that Engelbert doesn't fully understand the game of basketball and has even failed to return players' phone calls, including a call from Collier on the night she was injured. This personal feud reached a breaking point when Collier revealed that Engelbert's press conference, where she denied Collier's claims, was what made her cancel their planned meeting. Collier said, for her to turn around and call me a liar 3 minutes later, denying words that I heard come straight out of her mouth. I think it just speaks to the lack of accountability. All of this is happening because the league is on the rocket trajectory that Silver talked about, and that rocket is being fueled by one person in particular, Caitlin Clark. The Caitlin Clark effect is undeniable. Her arrival, along with other stars like Angel Reese, has re-accelerated the league's growth, leading to record-shattering TV ratings, sold-out arenas, and a mainstream buzz the WNBA has never seen before. Many argue that Engelbert is getting credit for growth that was single-handedly sparked by Clark. This unprecedented success is precisely why the players are demanding their fair share now. They see the money pouring in and want their compensation to reflect their value. This brings us to the threat of a lockout. If a new CBA isn't signed, the owners could shut down the league, and there might be number 2026 season. To understand the stakes, you can look at someone like Derek Fisher, the former Lakers guard who was the president of the NBA Players Union during the 2011 NBA lockout. He explained that these high-stakes negotiations naturally become very adversarial because of distrust. He stressed that the current players have leverage that past generations never did, and they need to use it to secure a better future. While an immediate lockout is unlikely since the league is in its off-season, the threat looms large over the future. A work stoppage would be a catastrophic, self-inflicted wound, potentially erasing all the progress made during this golden era and alienating the millions of new fans who just tuned in. Adding another layer of complexity is Nafisa Collier's new off-season league, unrivaled. Some see this as a major sticking point in the negotiations. The NBA and by extension the WNBA, wants total control of the basketball landscape. Unrivaled is a direct competitor. This has led to predictions that the WNBA's strategy to neutralize it won't be an outright ban, but a financial knockout. The theory is that the new CBA will include such massive salary increases, with predictions of a $15 million per team salary cap, leading to max contracts of $2 million. That Unrivaled simply won't be able to afford the cost of insuring its players' WNBA contracts. The WNBA could also add a clause voiding a player's contract if they get injured in an outside league. The goal would be to make it financially irresponsible for players to participate in Unrivaled, effectively ending it without being the bad guy. So where does this leave us? The WNBA is at a historic crossroads. On one path, there's a collaborative future with massive growth, fair pay, and a league that becomes a global powerhouse. On the other, there's a devastating civil war that leads to a lockout, destroying the incredible momentum built on the backs of players like Caitlin Clark. Adam Silver, the big boss, has stepped in, confirming a deal will get done and that Kathy Engelbert is going nowhere. He is trying to steer the ship through this storm, reminding everyone of the rocket they're all riding on. The coming months will decide if they can repair the broken relationships and navigate this turbulence together, or if they will fumble the biggest opportunity in the history of women's sports. What do you think is going to happen? Can they fix this mess? Or is a lockout inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to stay on top of this story and everything else happening in the world of basketball, make sure to hit that like button, hype up the channel, and subscribe so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.